Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Ollie is dolled up and ready to go to a conference. So he's out there plucking away at the news. That'll drop in a little bit. But he looks dapper.
I think he bought a whole new getup.
I think he did too. He's got a cream white vest. I've never seen that before.
No.
And a nice blue shirt. He's wearing pants.
We know he's got his car salesman jacket.
Oh, he does. Yeah, yeah. The kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he's not rocking that one today.
No, I imagine he'll put it on a little later.
Oh, if it gets a little chilly?
Well, that's how you close, buddy. ABC.
Very nice.
Always be coated.
Yes.
Always have a coat on.
That is what they say.
That is what it stands for. Mornings at the Cabin. The Cabin Radio. Is it the Cabin Radio team? I mean, it kind of is for trivia.
Oh, yes.
Back in the win column last night with help from friend of the show, Bridget Rusk. It was Adam, Keith, Bridget, and I.
I knew you guys
won.
could do it.
We won on a tiebreaker.
I had faith.
Well, we could have had... I mean, you know what? Actually, I'm not sure that you would have helped on the music. I think we got all the stuff that you would have gotten.
It's always good to know that you would have been no help.
No, that's not what I meant.
Always
that's not what I
nice
meant.
to
I'm just
know.
saying that the music we lost, because that is your strength.
My bread and butter.
Your bread and butter.
I know you love that saying.
I do. It's great. So we got a few steaks. You don't get one.
No.
It's fine.
Can I have one?
No.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Ollie is dolled up,
looking
in his finest.
Fine.
Very nice.
Well
Very
done.
Nice. He's got the striped tie. He's got the, what would you call that? It's not plaid cream vest or beige. What is it?
What is that called?
What kind of pattern is that? Is that a
Nice pattern.
Nice pattern.
Plaidish.
And a nice baby blue shirt, black pants, black shoes.
Who are we wearing today, Ollie?
I think it's called Kufandi.
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 Sounds fancy.
See that in Amazon, and you'll get some very cheap Chinese clothing.
I mean,
That's how we do around here.
That's exactly how we do around here. So you are emceeing the NWT Tourism Conference this morning?
Yeah, all day till about 10 o'clock at night.
Good God.
Jeez.
Wow.
You did this last year, too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So it starts about 8 o'clock, and then the main the conference bit goes through to about 4:35, and then the gala is 6-ish till 10.
I say just because there's a gala every night at this time of year. I'm going to go to a gala this morning.
Yep. Aboriginal
This
Sports
morning.
Circle Awards this weekend.
Yes.
Standard Gala is next weekend. So the emceeing is very much in season.
Gala
good.
season continues.
Gala season continues, indeed. Having one MC for 14 hours seems a bit much.
Yeah, although I don't really do a whole lot of talking. So
No, but you
most of the
introduce
sessions
everybody.
are an hour long, so I
Yeah.
basically get up there for a minute. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, thanks for doing that. That was a great presentation. And now here's the next presentation. And then go away again.
Well, that sounds riveting.
Well, I mean, it is because other people speak and they've got interesting things to say. And all I do is make sure that they feel appreciated and make sure that the next person knows where the microphone is.
Fair enough.
It is very much not a labor-intensive job.
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you are there all day. I mean, that's a long day. Starting at 8 seems odd too. Let's have our conference start before any of us would ever start
I need to be there
work.
at 8, like they start at 8:30.
8:30.
So I
Well,
go-
there's got to be a breakfast
is there gonna
buffet.
be- yeah, is there a
too,
breakfast?
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
of
breakfast
course.
buffet.
Come on now.
There you
Oh,
go.
all right. Who's putting that on? Fat Fox?
No, it's the Explorer. So
Oh, okay. It's at the Explorer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they
Yeah.
put on a nice spread.
you see, your opinion of this is starting to change.
This
Well,
is
it's
sounding pretty great,
Food's
actually.
involved now. I mean,
I get
mean-
3 meals.
I know you are so
It's more than we can ask
incredibly
most of
good
the
at
time.
emceeing. So I know that you're not benefiting from the fact that I legitimately decline every offer to MC that I ever get.
I think Ollie's their first choice.
Yeah, he is. And then they call probably Mel, Lauren, a few other people, and then they're like, by the way,
Why don't you like MC?
I guess
I
Jesse
don't
and
know.
Lecter down there.
I don't know what it is.
You MC a morning show every day.
I know. But I mean, this is where I don't have a script. I don't have to make sure I get everybody's name right. Well, I mean,
you kind of do.
I kind of do, but I've got more time. I've got more time. I can turn off my mic. We can kind of relax, and then I can practice someone's name. And so there is that. But I don't know. There's a sense of urgency to emceeing, I guess, that I don't really love.
Sense of urgency. Everybody,
Everybody,
drinks,
everybody,
snacks, a beer.
just got
Everybody sit down. Finish your eggs. I don't know. Maybe
No, you can't go to the bathroom. This is an important presentation.
I don't know. Maybe sense of urgency is the wrong thing to say, but it was. Yeah, there's for some reason I just do. It's one of those things like
This is a comfortable environment.
It is. This is a safe space
Yeah.
for me. In front of a camera, safe. On stage is safe, but for whatever reason, public speaking.
Yeah, why on stage is safe, but public speaking, I'm terrified.
Right? No. So
when I go on
you're
stage.
the exact opposite. You've got the training as the public speaker. I've got the training as the stage as a person. So I play the character, and I mean. In public speaking, it's not unlike acting. You are kind of playing a character, especially if you're usually nervous. One of the things you can do to not be so nervous is to obviously imagine everybody naked, but also imagine yourself as somebody else saying these things. So like kind of playing the part of the MC. And I mean, I play the part of the MC on this show every morning because I don't normally talk like this all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes I'm nice. But there's just something about it that I don't particularly like. I can do a public speaking if I have a podium. Because then I can lean on it.
I see. I get.
You're good with the mic.
When you get behind a podium and the mic is fixed, I hate that.
Yeah.
I like to stroll back and forth. When I'm on the phone to people, I also hate sitting still.
Yes.
When I'm on the phone to people, I
yeah.
have to walk back and forth. Otherwise, I don't know what
I
it
pace
is.
the halls, too.
Yeah, I'd go through my entire house, do like circles.
Yeah.
When I'm on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of the same when I'm emceeing. I need to be able to like pace around a little bit and like stroll around.
Fair enough.
Which I get. Like I get why stand-up comedians do that as well.
Yes.
Why there are some, they like to be sort of sat at a chair and tell their jokes, but there are others who need to like prowl.
Yeah.
And, like,
Absolutely,
Go back
yeah.
and forth.
There's only so many stand-up acts that a podium really works for. You pretty much got to be doing a president impersonation or something for
Yeah.
a podium to make sense.
That's
there,
right.
But, yeah.
Well, you put your skills to full test this morning and throughout the day. So what are some of the topics that NWT Tourism Conference are going to discuss?
What have we got today? Today they've got how bored do you want to be? Because this is really interesting for tourism operators.
Well,
but
I mean,
not
I imagine.
necessarily
Well,
for
but
the
I mean,
average
this
human
is
being.
this is the linchpin of our economy moving forward.
All
so.
right. So they got an update from the director of marketing for
Yes.
NWT Tourism from
Woo.
8:35 till 9:15, as I recall.
New posters.
Then from 9:15 till about 10:30, I think you've got NWT Tourism's German and Japanese representatives giving updates on those markets. Then from 11:30 till 12:30, I think you've got one of the executives from a company called CrowdRiff talking about how they use CrowdRiff, which is a piece of software used by NWT Tourism to gather like all the best images that tourists take and make them available to help promote the
That's
territory.
cool. That's a cool app.
Yeah. There's all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I didn't realize that the German market was something that was a thing. I mean, obviously in the grand scheme of things, it's a thing. But I mean, for us, I didn't realize it was a market that was.
Germany is a
They
thing.
let Germans leave the country now
Right. Oh,
for a while.
God. Well, it's been a few years.
I don't know if you noticed Doris, who was here for the last year. Anyway.
Well, she escaped.
Well,
And they found her. So
Yeah, that's why she went
gotta
back.
go back.
yes, so German market is like, out of all of the European countries, Germany is the one that sends the most tourists.
Well, they're one of the richest countries in Europe, so that makes
And
sense. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
And the Yukon traditionally in the last 5 years or so, my understanding has been a huge German destination.
Huh.
I mean, all jokes about Doris, that's why she came to the Northwest Territories. She
Is
came
it?
to do a photography course in the
there
first
you go.
place with Dave Brocher.
Oh.
Way back when.
Dave.
And she was going to go, she was in Alberta anyway, on holiday, I think, and decided, I'm just going to go to the NWT. So that is exactly how she ended up coming here. And then she loved it so much, she decided to stay.
There it is. You'll learn something new every day at an NWT Tourism Conference. Sweet. Well, you have yourself a good time.
Thank you.
I'm sure the breakfast will be lovely.
It will.
And I'm sure they pay better than us.
They do.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
This morning's show brought to you by GNWG Health and Social Services and their flu clinics. That's right. Protect yourself and others from the flu by getting the flu shot each year in the fall. The flu shot is free in the NWT to everyone 6 months of age or older. No appointment necessary. Just show up and get your flu shot. Go to hss.gov.nt.ca for a full list of times and clinics in your community. And a little later on, around 8:30, Tammy Condola will be in here to talk about those flu shots and possibly administer some. Is that what's going on?
Oh, I don't know.
I think we should do it.
I mean, that would be convenient. I would like to get mine anyway.
That's right.
If the flu shot could just come to me, that'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We could just send it in the mail and have people administer it themselves.
If life could just work that way in general.
Yeah.
Like if we still had doctors that made house calls And I didn't have to make an appointment.
And if someone would deliver my milk,
Right.
yeah. But now these millennials don't want milk delivered to their homes.
And you got to go buy milk like a chump.
Yeah, they're plastic jugs because of millennials. Anyway, speaking of millennials, they don't even want to get buried like boomers anymore.
Oh.
So in Vancouver, conversations about this started when I was still living there and have been ongoing for a long time. What do you do with cemeteries? What do you do with the massive amount of cemeteries in a city like that?
Charming dinner conversation.
Oh, easy. No, but I mean, like,
what do we do with these cemeteries?
What do we do with these dead people? No, but I mean, cemeteries take up a ton of space. They use a ton of resources, and they're lovely. I mean, if you can go and visit your loved one, great. So,
I mean, they're kind of spooky.
they are spooky, especially at night.
Lovely during the day,
right? Is it
spooky at night?
But there's something that's tied to that, and that's why we hold them in such reverence, because this is where the dead are buried.
Yeah,
and it's a spooky thing or whatever, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to be a place of rest. Yes. So in Vancouver, they've passed a bylaw that you can now bury more than one body at a gravesite.
Oh,
there
good.
You go. Vancouver's only cemetery, because there's only one cemetery in Vancouver proper.
What?
Yeah. And
really?
It's the Mountain View Cemetery, and it's so big that they actually had to shut it down a while back because there's just no vacancy. So people are buried in other places. Vancouver proper is actually very small. I don't think people really realize that. It looks big because it's like all part of the Greater Vancouver Regional District, right? So Vancouver proper is very small, and right next to it is Burnaby, and then you get into Surrey and all these other places that all kind of expand out and make Vancouver look very big.
Right.
But Vancouver proper is actually pretty small.
Okay.
So now that would allow its city council approved bylaw amendments for Mountain View Cemetery this week that would allow strangers to share graves, including permitting 3 or more bodies in a single site. Why didn't this come out during Halloween? This would have been a great Halloween story.
That would have been a great Halloween story.
But I mean, a lot of people have that look on your face that you have currently, which is like a look of confusion and kind of grotesqueness.
Well, yeah. At first, just when you picture it, you can't picture a way.
No, you picture a mass grave inside of a cemetery. That's what you picture.
You just figure, add another one.
Okay.
Another pile.
Absolutely. No, and it's not a wonderful thought, especially given how much stock we put into how we bury our dead.
Yeah.
Right. So we dig the hole, put them in the coffin, do all those things that allow us to say our goodbyes.
Also, traditionally, mass graves. It's just not a positive term.
Not a great connotation.
No.
I mean, personally, I'd love to be in a mass grave.
Why not party in the afterlife?
That's right. We're all here together. So this is an interesting step towards what I think is just a new way of dealing with this, of dealing with it, of kind of making that transition.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's there's entire industry built up around funeral homes and embalming and kind of burying our dead.
Right.
I've always been of the mind that I want to be cremated or turned into compost.
Oh.
That's what I would like.
Yeah.
And then you're not taking up any space. I mean, but the thing is, there's problems with cremation as well. It takes a lot of resources to cremate something. So you're right. This isn't great breakfast talk. But it's an interesting subject because it's something that I actually have an opinion on, which is that everything else. Easy. But like, we need to stop using so much land and resources to bury so many people.
Yeah.
Cremate or turn them into compost. So that's why there are these companies where like you can put your remains in a tub and basically it turns into a tree, which is great. They're called like the seed or the seed pod or whatever.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's right.
I think BioUrn
or BioPod or whatever, buried at sea, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a way of kind of mitigating how much space people are taking up.
Yeah. And becoming like something actually useful.
Yeah.
As a result.
Another part of this is that they're going to have more sustainable tombstones, which I don't think is the issue, because a granite tombstone it's there, it's not going anywhere, and it's not poisoning anything. One of the bigger issues with
are granite tombstones
a thing? Yeah.
Well, sorry, tombs. For some reason, when you said tombstone, I thought
coffin.
I wouldn't want to be that pallbearer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just slide it out on the ice. See what happens. But one of the bigger issues when it comes to burying people in the coffins is that people are filled with a bunch of different chemicals in order to preserve them so people can say their goodbyes or you can have your funeral and whatnot. And I mean, that's a very important part of saying goodbye, especially for family members. But those coffins are not sealed tight, right? They're kind of sealed, but then once all that dirt gets on them, they tend to pop open.
They could get out.
They could get out. That's part of it. We could be overrun with zombies.
Why didn't anyone think of this sooner?
The bigger issue is that when people start to, decompose, those chemicals leach out, and then if the coffin is open or cracked a bit, then those chemicals can leach into the ground, which can then leach into the groundwater, which is not good.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
Your main concern is not zombies.
No.
It's not packs of zombies. No. Zombies in threes are worse than one zombie.
Yeah, but see,
That's math, Jesse.
See, I'm not a 28 days later zombie guy. I'm a Walking Dead zombie guy. It's like, they're slow. I just kill them. Just be done with it.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not scared of zombies.
All right.
All right. I mean, if there's a pack of them, I guess, but then, whatever.
I'll stick with you.
All right. I'm going to die first.
Scenes on the cabin.
I forget. The last time I saw you, did I remember to tell you how ugly I think you are?
No, you didn't.
Well, I think you're really ugly.
I think you're looking in a mirror.
You want to go?
Anytime, any place.
I'm starting to like this guy. Just kidding. I still hate you.
Well, I hate you.
You want to go?
Guys. Cool it. Summer Gruber, we understand you've recruited quite a team.
Quite a team? Yeah, you could say that. Frank Corver, Tanker Lutz, Tut Beamer, Tug Phelps, Vernon Freedom, moi. Yeah, it's a pretty good team.
Look, Mac, are you sure you won't change your mind about letting Piper here join you? He'd make a hell of an asset.
Oh, I would love to, but the van's pretty full. You see, it's filled with American heroes with over 100 years of combined combat experience and a whole lot of brotherhood. And no, you can't ride in the trunk, bud, because the trunk is filled with over 75 pounds of homemade C4 explosive that I personally packed in there with my own two. Oh, no. Doug, you guys okay? Somebody's got to be in there. Oh, no. Call 911. Ah!
Scenes from the cabin.
Know the movie? Submit your guest to mailbox@cabinradio.ca or send us a message on Facebook for your chance to win gift certificates to some awesome Yellowknife restaurants, including the Monkey Tree Pub and Steak Restaurant, the Woodyard Brewhouse and Eatery, Flavor Trader, Copperhouse Eatery and Lounge, or Javaroma. Listen to Cabin Radio every weekday to win, or download the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
The best mix in the entire territory. That's our slogan. It's a little wordy. Wanted to talk about this. Ollie is off at the NWT Tourism Conference all day today. He's going to be talking all day, introducing people, sitting down, listening to them, coming up and telling them they did great, introducing another person, sitting down, listening to them, telling them they come great. All right.
Hopefully no news happens.
Yeah, right? Otherwise, how are we going to know?
Oh.
Well, we do have two other very, very capable people.
I guess Emily and Sarah can handle it.
Can handle it.
They're fine.
Speaking of Emily, she put up the story this morning. Visitors spending up in the NWT $8 million. It's up $8 million.
Hey,
pretty good.
That's all right.
So why do we even need a conference?
To make it 16 million.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. So the NWT welcomed more than 120,000 visitors between the 2018 and 2019 fiscal year.
Wow.
The vast majority from Canada. Yeah, well, that's fine. According to the statistics released by the NWT Tourism's annual conference in Yellowknife. I thought that was starting today. How are we getting this news now? I thought it started at 8:30.
I don't know. Is this last year's report?
No.
Oh, okay.
Figure is slightly up from 112,000 visitors from the year previous. So that's pretty good. Let's see. The territory is seeing a rise in tourists from China with 16.6% of visitors coming from the country, followed by Japan at 6.8%. That used to be flip-flop back in the day. It was more Japanese tourists than it was Chinese tourists.
Getting a lot of tourists from South Korea now, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any from North Korea?
Not as such.
Not as such.
No.
Right. Most of them claiming asylum. And then we've got some from Germany. We just learned this morning is that Germany's a strong market.
Well, we're trying.
Well, yeah, we're trying.
Trying to get more.
We're wary.
We just got rid of one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Bye, Doris.
Yeah. Bye, Doris. Thanks so much for all your help. So visitor spending increased $8 million on the last fiscal year, bringing $210 million to the territory, an average of $575,000 per day.
Not bad.
That's legit.
Not bad at all.
That is legit, man. I mean that's a good portion of the GDP.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that's Bright Blue Canada Goose jackets.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Big chunk of that.
That's right. Well, I mean, a lot of the touring companies like rent them. Like it's part of the deal, right? You come there and you grab one of the jackets. So
Which is a good idea.
it is a great idea.
Some of the people that come off the plane, you just shake your head and go, "You're never
are you
going to
doing?
make it 24 hours."
You're wearing tights and a little puffy jacket. Can't do that.
And those are the people that are from here.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Actually, I have that problem when I go to Australia because I don't want to bring a jacket all the way down there. So I usually just bring like a light sweater and just run into the airport as fast as I can. And then it's way worse coming back because you come off the airplane in -40 and I'm wearing
It can't
a sweater.
be that cold in Australia during summer.
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't need a jacket.
But you go right.
I don't want to carry around a jacket when I only need it for
I
really
see.
two flights, right?
Well, this is interesting. No, I mean,
The more you know.
The more you know. I thought you were saying that you run when you land in Australia. You run into the airport.
No,
It's too cold.
I'm in flip flops and shorts by that time.
Did you ever go on that rock? The rock that you're not allowed to go on anymore?
No, my dad did though.
Oh, did he? Eh? Back in the day?
No, like recently.
Oh,
Yeah, he
What a jerk. He broke the law.
four-wheel drives around the Outback.
yeah.
Just bumped into it one day.
We'll put this here.
What is this? What
The
are you
Big
talking
Rock.
about?
What's it called?
Big Rock.
Ayers Rock.
Ayers Rock.
Ah,
Yeah.
what's the deal with Ayers Rock?
Big
It's
rock
a
in the middle of
national-
nowhere.
Just a big rock.
It's a national site,
Really
but
what it
people have been like climbing on it for decades as a tourist attraction. It's like if you ever see a picture of the Outback, it's the thing that's in the Outback, other than sand and kangaroos. It's this big rock that protrudes out of the landscape. It's like everything's flat all around it, and all of a sudden there's just this huge rock. So
It's like that pimple on a Sunday morning.
That's right.
Your face looks great, and then there's that one big bump
On your butt.
right in the middle.
Right on your butt.
If I saw a picture of it, I would probably be
You
like,
would know.
"Oh, that rock."
You'd be like, "Oh,
Oh.
the red rock."
Australia's pimple.
Yeah.
You got it.
I thought that was Alice Springs. So you're not allowed to go on anymore because people are ruining it. You just do too many things, and it starts to have an effect on the ecosystem. So there you go. You're not allowed to do it anymore.
This rock has its own ecosystem.
Yeah, everything has its own ecosystem. Your
Jeez.
face has its own ecosystem.
Oh my god.
All that stuff crawling around in your beard.
Oh.
Yeah, there's stuff
Oh, I just
having
wiped it
sex
out. Oh, God.
on your face. Just
But
saying.
his very long hair is not an issue.
That's right. Yeah, why? It's cleaner, right?
Cleaner.
You tend to clean your head hair more than your
Well-
beard hair. Do you clean your beard?
No.
Didn't think so.
Disgusting.
Poopy face.
Get out of here.
You're throwing stones over there with your
Hey,
greasy Bo
No.
Members.
I washed this morning and then I put coconut oil in it. So
What?
I'm greasy and tasty.
You
Yeah.
think it's at the stage it requires
It
coconut oil?
requires absolutely. I need to make it look as dark as possible so it looks legit. This thing is greasy, buddy, and it's spaced out.
It's because you put oil on it.
That's right.
It's
I
literally
know.
greasy.
I'm not sure which is worse for a morning show, coffin talk or ecosystems of our face talk.
Well, let's
Kim?
find out. Kim, let us know which one's worse, coffins or poop faces. Oh, right. There we go. There's your breakfast talk for the morning.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
This morning's show brought to you by GNWT Health and Social Services and the flu clinics, which there is one today, I believe, but we'll get into that in a second. Protect yourself and others from the flu by getting your flu shot. It's free to anyone in the NWT 6 months of age or older. No appointment necessary. Go to hss.gov.nt.ca for a full list of times and clinics in your community. And we're joined by guest Tammy Condola this morning, who is going to tell us about these flu shots and the clinics they're in. Tammy, good morning.
Hi, it's actually Dr. Cami Condola. I'm the
Tammy, pardon me.
Chief Public Health Officer.
Pardon
And
me.
For those residents in Yellowknife, the flu clinics have already started. They started on Saturday and the multiplex, and they're being held today and tomorrow at the Northern United. Anyone wanting to get their flu shot, they can show up between 1 and 6 at the Northern United place. On November 16th and 30th, there will be flu vaccines offered at the co-op from 10 to 4.
Okay. All right. And we're encouraging everybody to get these flu shots. Obviously, there's a lot of people out there who are like, well, I'm not going to get that. I don't get the flu. I don't get sick. And if I get sick, I'll just stay home. But you're encouraging everybody to get them.
We, in the Northwest Territories, we're fortunate that we can offer the flu vaccine to everyone free
Yes.
of charge. But there are people at higher risk for flu complications and hospitalizations and even death. And so, in particular, we want to encourage people who are elders over age 65, little children under age 5, but we can't offer flu vaccines to babies less than 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then pregnant women, they're very high risk for flu complications. The other category are people with chronic illness. So if you've got severe asthma, you've got heart disease, you've got a chronic illness that's limiting your functioning, having the flu on top of that, it's not a good thing.
Of course.
And people living in remote communities is better. Prevention is better than dealing with the flu, especially because you don't have immediate access to hospitals. You have the health centers, but it's better if you're remote and that you announce that prevention is worth 10 pounds of cure. So just get the flu shot.
Okay. Get out there and get your flu shot. Now, you were mentioning, I overheard you as you came in. There's that one today. Where's the one today? Sorry, you mentioned.
At the Northern United
It
place.
is at the NUP. Okay. So you can go down there starting at what time?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Go down there and get your shots. Maybe I'll go after lunch.
I've actually seen a lot of people on my Facebook feed already mentioning yesterday that they went down, got their flu shot. You'll be happy to know that. And many of them mentioned how it was like super quick, took like less than 5 minutes. They got in, they got out, got the flu shot, and now they're all good. That's one of the things that kind of stood out to me was like how quick it can be, because I've been to the co-op before on a Saturday when it's heavily populated,
yes,
will I say, for people waiting for their flu shots. But so even in those situations when it's not necessarily quick, you're kind of waiting in line. I'm always amazed by the organization and the efficiency despite the crowds that may show up.
Absolutely.
And that kudos goes to public health nurses, not only in Yellowknife, but in all the other communities, because this is the fact that you've seen everything go smoothly is because there's been great planning.
Mm-hmm.
And so a shout out to all public health nurses in Yellowknife and their managers.
Big shout out to all the public health nurses. And so we were talking before, just before we went on air here, and one of the things you hear about shots, we don't want to get into the whole like anti-vaxxer thing, but one of the things you hear about is herd immunity, which is I think probably factors into this somewhat. You mentioned there's some at-risk ages that can't necessarily get the flu shot. Is that part of why it's so important to get this done?
Excellent question. So while I mentioned the people who are at increased risk, someone would say, well, I have none of those conditions. I'm not getting the flu shot. But their sister just had a baby.
Yes.
Or their mother has severe COPD.
Yeah.
And or they work in a crowded facility like a daycare or corrections, or not necessarily just the long-term care or the hospitals, because we strongly encourage our healthcare workers to get the flu shot. But people have to realize if you're working in a crowded facility and you come in and get the flu, it can spread pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I also wanted to make mention is that we're noticing that flu is coming earlier in the Northwest Territories. Even before the flu clinics open to the general public, we've actually had about, at a minimum, 4 cases of confirmed flu in the southern part of Northwest Territories. So flu has arrived here, and so you want to beat the flu and get the vaccine before you get the flu. What we do know about the type is it's H1N1 that we're seeing from the data that we got right now. We also seen, we've been looking at the data the last couple of years, is that our surveillance shows that it's peaking earlier, like December, and typically we've seen flu activity peak after Christmas in January in the new year, but for the last couple of years we've seen it become earlier and earlier. So what that means is if flu is arriving earlier, if the activity's peaking before Christmas, is don't wait till the New Year's has a New Year's resolution to get your flu shot. Get it now.
Okay. Well, there you go.
It always seems to magically hit for me right on Christmas. It's amazing how it works.
I don't think I've actually had the flu for years. I mean, I think a lot of people say, like, when they get sick for a couple of days, they're like, I got the flu, I got a temperature, but like the flu will knock you on your butt. And like for 3 or 4 days. So like
Absolutely.
When a lot of people say they have the flu or whatever, mainly they're just like kind of sick. They're sick for a couple of days. But if you have the flu,
you would know it.
Yes.
You would you would be having fever, chills. You will feel like a truck has rolled over you. Your muscles will be hurting. Your achy joints. You'll be coughing. It's not similar to a cold where you have a runny nose and you feel miserable.
Yeah.
The flu will knock you out.
Yeah. Knock you on your butt and keep you on your couch or in your bed for a couple of days at least.
Okay, I get it. I'm just a big baby.
You're just a big baby.
That's fine, guys.
You just take you get a cold and you're like, hey, I have the flu, and you don't really have it.
Okay,
so, all right.
Got it.
I know.
I call it the man cold.
Yeah, the man cold. Exactly. All right. So getting your flu shot, very important, and it's getting your flu shot every year.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
different strains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got the flu shot this year, doesn't mean that it'll protect you next year.
Yeah.
It's an interesting surveillance activity because the flu strains are very smart and they can mutate and change.
Of course.
And so we're always looking to see what strain is circulating, and then the pharmaceuticals manufacture their flu vaccines based on what's circulating. We can't look at what happened last year to determine what's going to happen next year. So typically flu starts in the southern hemisphere, starts in Australia, and then it makes its way up to North America and the Western during our time. So it starts there first, but WHO, the World Health Organization, is always looking at the strains and then telling the pharmaceuticals, and then we make a vaccine that's going to work for that year.
There you go. So get it done every year. It's just that easy. I mean, it's a vaccine. You go in, you get poked, and that's it.
And it's free.
And it's free. There you go. Protect yourself. Protect those around you. If you're a young, strapping lad like myself, but you're around babies and maybe the immunocompromised or someone who's older and is at a higher risk, then do it for them. Do it for those members of your family and do it for those friends that just had babies or who are pregnant right now. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
So get the flu shot.
I'll get
protect
it.
those.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Jeez.
Telling this guy every day to get it done. All right. Dr. Cami Condola, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for the information. And we can go to hss.gov.nt.ca for all the flu clinic times.
For all the Northwest Territories.
And for all the Northwest Territories flu clinic times and places. So go there, get the shot. Takes a couple of seconds, and it's absolutely free. We just want to make sure you're okay. That's all. That's all we want to do.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.